so we're going to be beginning shortly. We'll be taking a look at Imperial assaults. So we're just going to give a few minutes so I can start the stream shortly. We should begin a dive into Imperial Assault. We'll take a look at it and how it works with the app, and really just have a little fun with the game itself and see if I can get it to work. With just myself, I had a chance to play through one of the missions with some of the guys in town. Also had an opportunity to play through it with MicroDude and my wife, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So I'm going to try it out and see if I can get it to work single player. I would imagine it's pretty just simple, straightforward, but we'll see in a second. Just about set. Alrighty. So I got pretty much all the bits and pieces ready to go. And I think we'll take a look at it in just 2 minutes here. So, Imperial Assault. Let's dive in here and see what we can do about getting this to kind of work. There. Okay. I think it's working. So, Imperial Assault. Picked up the box not too long ago, and I had an opportunity to play through it with a few family members and as well as some friends. The booklets and guides and everything are pretty much full of some great info and some great walkthroughs. The box set itself comes with all kinds of different tiles, which is superb for setting up a game. So you get a series of various different tiles that interconnect, they're numbered, and pretty much offer a great, they're double-sided too, great opportunity to kind of explore the different campaigns pretty effectively. I know when this was kind of like in a tournament scene, they actually had mats specifically set up for various different tournaments and stuff. Also, you get a number of different dice and tokens. Let me just flip that over there, it's a little bit easier to see. Tons of dice, tons of tokens. You've got crates and characters and doors and all kinds of different bits. So that's pretty cool. The models themselves, so you've got all kinds of different rebels that are available. As you can see, tons of rebels. You got Luke, got some Jedi, you've got a Wookiee, you've got various different humans. Jedi's a Twi'lek, which is cool. I think there's a Bothan. Yeah, there's a Bothan included there. So, then, of course, the baddies. So change the aspect here. You can see you've got Nexus and Stormtroopers, droids, E-Webs, and an ATST. How cool is that? Can't go wrong with an ATST, right? So, let's take a look at the game. So the game itself has various different characters associated with them. Each character has a card. The card has what they can do when they're healthy. The different colors represent different dice to use. You have different things like their tech ability, their ability to attack, things like that. Has defense dice. Has some special rules regarding the characters too, which is kind of cool. Once the character gets injured, you can flip the card over and you've got a not quite as effective character with some reduced skills and reduced dice colors. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So these are going to be, I think, the characters that we're going to be working with. Right up there, you can see the app that you can actually use to run some various different campaigns. Although it's not required, you can actually conduct the campaign just using the booklet itself. There's tons of different cards associated with this for each of the different enemy units as well. There's stickers to differentiate the different units, and you also get like I don't even know what this would be called. I guess a dial noting different points and stuff throughout the game. So yeah, so that is that. So let's take a look at this app and let's kind of see what happens when we jump into it. So we'll go to new game, and let's do a campaign and we'll just kind of learn a little bit about it first. So you have different options depending on the box set that you have. Go with the standard tutorial, which is a little bit harder to see on this, so we just kind of, and we'll bring this front. There we go. So, yeah, we'll move the chat. We'll just bring it all the way front. Why not, right? Yeah, there we go. So, as you can see, we can choose between the Legends of the Alliance tutorial, so you can go through it. There's Return to Hoth, which is one of the boxes, Jabba's realm, and then we also have, let's see here, Fight for Freedom, the Freedom Fighter. So this is the box set that you start off with, so you can go through this campaign. It's pretty neat. Yeah, so Jabba's realm, Return to Hoth, pretty cool. So we're just going to choose the tutorial here, and let me just kind of fix this back up. And I'm probably not going to have this thing too big unless we really need it, and kind of go from there. So yeah, I think we're good. So let's jump into this and see what we have in regards to this wonderful world of Star Wars Imperial Assault. Actually, you know what might actually be a little bit better is if I do this. And here we go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of swapping things around just so it's a little bit easier to see. Like when we need to go from one screen to the other, I can kind of bounce back and forth. And yeah, maybe that'll be a little bit better to work with. I don't know, we'll see. everything on the screen that we need. I'm thinking we should be okay if I just get rid of a bunch of the extra bits. Give me a second here, folks. There we go. So I'm going to load up there we go. So this screen here, I'm just going to pop in our gaming capture. And there we go. And it's huge. So what we'll do is we'll just navigate between these two as we go through the game. I thought it would be a little bit easier to see, so we can just kind of go between these two. If we're focused on the main gameplay, we'll kind of take a look at this one, and if we need to take a look at the app, we can take a look at this one. So let's take a look at the app for a second. So we're going to go through the tutorial, so let's jump into the tutorial here, click continue, and we'll see what's what. Alright, so here's the previous campaign that we kind of played around with. Have you played? Let's say no, we haven't, just for fun. How many? It's just going to be me. For solo game, you're going to control 2 heroes and follow all the rules for a 2-hero game. Sure, why not? Sounds good. Okay, so we just need these 2 folks. So that's fair enough, and I can get rid of Fen, so I don't need him anymore. That is fantastic. So Fen, you're out. Okay, let's continue on and see how this goes. Squad name, FBD. There, whatever. That's good enough for me. And continue. Oh, reading. Okay. From within the secret rebel base on Yavin 4, you listen anxiously as the pilots of Red and Gold Squadron face down the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. You cheer with joyful relief when Luke Skywalker destroys the Imperial installation with a single shot. You stand at grateful attention as Princess Leia Organa presents Skywalker and Han Solo with awards for their meritorious service. Now, one question here, where's Chewie's? I'll have to wait for a bunch of movies to leak. Poor guy gets his. Yet, the ceremony has hardly finished when Rebel Command orders a full evacuation of Yavin 4's base. You help load transports, uncertain how long you have until the Empire arrives. Sounds good. Alright. Sounds a fun little intro. I forgot about that. No, Chewie's, yeah. Garkin? Yeah, Garkin's gonna be in on this. Good old Garkin. Our Wookiee friend there. And then we've got, Jin. Yeah, poor Chewie's not going to be in on this one. Alright, so we've got the Imperial Assault. 1 to 4 players take part in an epic Star Wars adventure. Each player controls his or her own hero for Rebel Assault, or Rebel Alliance, and then you must all work together to accomplish the goals of the campaign that you're playing. The campaign is played over a series of missions, and though you might lose individual missions, the campaign will continue until it reaches its conclusion. The fate of the Rebel Alliance is in your hands. Uh-oh. Oh no. So this tutorial teaches you how to play Star Wars Imperial Assault Legends of the Alliance. This tutorial only provides a broad overview of the rules, terms in bold, text reference specific entries in the Imperial Assault rules, reference guide including in your course set. So when you can find more information on this topic, so we can find more of that stuff there. So that's cool. That's good enough for me. So we've got some various different controls at the bottom. So if you need to review any past messages, you can click on this little log button here. indicated by that little log icon at the bottom. The message log is going to show her. Okay, cool. That's good enough. Sounds good. So, we had just arrived at the rebel base on Yavin as new recruits when the Death Star came to destroy the moon. Now the Death Star has been destroyed, and nearly everyone on the planet is preparing to evacuate the base. You, however, are to undergo training to become soldiers and prepare, or perhaps one day, Legends of the Alliance. So maybe we'll get as good as Han or Luke or something like that. We'll see. So of course the text, italicized text is going to be the story stuff. The non-italicized stuff is going to be rules explaining exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So missions in the Imperial Assault are played on maps made up of double-sided tiles, which we took a look at a little bit earlier, which is kind of neat. I really like how it's the double sides. The app's going to tell you which ones to use. In the campaign book, it essentially outlines the various different ones that you would use depending on what you're going to be facing off against. If you need help identifying the game pieces, check the component list in the Learn to Play. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So we're going to need all these various different tiles. Now let's zap on over to the other screen here. So these tiles have like the smallest little numbers, and they're like not easy to see. So I need 10A for sure. I need 17A. Then 18A, so we got those ones. We're gonna need a whole bunch of those. 6. What's this one? 3. We need, what is this one we need? 12? Maybe not. 21? Nope, probably don't need that one. Probably don't need that one either. Cool. Alright, we've got 18A, which is something we'll need. So 18A, we need 3 of those. This is exciting, right? 2. So I got 2, 3, and I need number 1. 0, 1. Okay, so we go 5. So I got 1, 2, 3, 6, and 5. So this is 5 here, 6, 9, 10, and then there we go. So it's like a big puzzle game almost. So I'm going to put our 2 heroes to the side, their cards to the side for now. If we ever do this again in the future, maybe we'll take a look at how it all kind of fits together. So this is how the tiles are essentially put together. So the air is hot and thick with humidity. The sounds of the dense, lively jungle surround you on all sides. Very atmospheric. So we're going to place 2A, tiniest bloody numbers in the world. 2A, kind of looks like that little bunker thingy. There we go. So 2A, perfect. There, down. And then I need 18 to kind of go over there. That's cool. And then we also need a door. So what's really neat is a lot of 3D printers, folks that do 3D printing and stuff, they make little door hatches. There's little consoles that you got that you can get, and they actually have like little standing consoles, as well as little crates that you can put these various different little crate pieces on. Really neat how some of the community members have really stepped up and made some interesting pieces for this game. Alright, so we've done that. So we've dug everything out. Let's take a look at what we got. So we're going to place Jin. Where is Jin? She's all crouching and stuff. So we're going to place Jin in the indicated space. We're going to choose, and that is right here. So we'll put Jin there. So that's pretty cool. And then give the player the hero sheet. So again, here's her sheet. Has all of her information on it and the various different dice to use. So I'll put see if we can do this at once. It's going to get a little bit difficult when this map expands, but we'll put Jin's card down there for now. And yeah, next. Okay, so place the hero sheet with the red background side face down. Cool. Class cards can be earned by the heroes over the course of the campaign. For now, keep the class cards face down. So you've got these additional cards and stuff, so we're not really worried about that right now. So that's fair enough. Keeping it basic. Right. Then we're going to put our Wookiee friend, and he's going to stand right beside her there, right by the door. Looks like he's getting ready to bash it in. Alright, so we put Garkin there, and then we're going to take his card. So his card looks essentially like that. And we'll put his card down there. So we're all set there, and then we continue. Perfect. So attention, soldiers! A voice calls out. A uniformed human stands at the top of the set of stone stairs, looking down over you. My name is Corporal Kish. I'm here to get you into fighting shape. The Alliance needs all the fighters it can get if we're ever going to overthrow the Empire. So, we're going to place the Corporal's token right there. So, we've got all these different tokens for different people. So, I need to find, there's our Corporal. So, we'll put the Corporal there. Perfect. Fair enough, fair enough. So, we got that done. Cool. Alright, so we're going to place a gray rebel trooper deployment card. Okay, so we've got like this little deployment card. We've got that there too. So what they're talking about is the back has got the little rebel symbol on it. On the table where all the players can see it, normally the allies, like the rebel trooper, will be under the player's control, but for the purposes of this tutorial, the app is going to take control of the corporal. So that's fair enough. That's fine. Right, round one. So missions are divided into a number of different rounds. With each round, each figure or hero and ally get to perform one or more activations. The round ends when all figures have finished their activations. The order in which the rebels perform their activations is decided by the players. So we can essentially choose who goes first and whatnot. What's nice is when you have, like, for example, the single player, or if you only have 3 players, in the top left there you're going to see the character icons. So, and when you see those character icons, you'll know they're kind of doubled up here. And because they're doubled up, that essentially represents it going twice. If there was only 3 players, then one person, and it would rotate through, gets to have essentially 2 turns around. And then, of course, if there's 4 players, it would just be 4 icons each. And then we can see in the bottom left-hand corner are the corporal all set to go. Alright, so let's continue. So during the figure's activation, figures perform up to 2 actions. A figure can perform the same action more than once during the activation. So attack twice, move twice, things like that. So let's get moving, Kish says. We've got some combat training to do. We're doing this combat training right after the explosion of the Death Star. Okay, sounds good to me. Alright, so, okay, so good old Kish is going to activate first, so we'll take a look at that. Kish is going to walk down the stairs and stop next to, at the gate leading to the courtyard. So his first action is going to be moving. We can always take a look at more detailed stuff in the booklet. It says, when the figure takes a move action, the figure gains a movement points equal to the figure's speed that's noted on the sheet. So some units can move a little bit faster than others. So let's take a look at this guy. His speed is 4, his health is 3, defense is white, and attack is blue and yellow. So his speed is 3, so he can move essentially 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, Well, actually, we can't go there yet. I'll have to wait and see how this wants to go, because we've got these little red lines, and we've got some solid red lines too to go through. So those movement points may only be used during the figure's current activation. So you can. All right. So it costs 1 movement point for the figure to move to an adjacent space, indicating the presence of terrain. Black and red lines, both solid and dashed, block movement. Okay, so like we said, we have got the black lines, which is basically the surrounding of the entire border here, so we can't go through that, obviously. And then we have some dashed ones, which represent you can't go through, but you can see. And then the red ones, those are going to represent not being able to see through and not being able to go through either. Now, there he goes, he's moving. So it looks like we can move through characters. So he basically goes down here. You can move on diagonal, so he goes through here, here, and he stops in front. Out of the way, Wookie. There, we'll put the door there. We'll put Buddy here. There we go. Perfect. So we move the corporal down there to the highlighted space. We can move through Jin's space on the way, and the figure can move through. Figures can move through, but not stop in spaces containing other figures. Moving through a space with a hostile figure costs 1 additional movement point. So it's like you're being cautious or something. And that's additional movement points are going to come into play when we take a look at stuff like rivers and quagmires and things, which is kind of neat. So here we can see that the doors are placed along the edge of the block movement across those edges. So essentially it is an open area, but the door's there. So tokens like these doors have their own rules that are defined by the mission. So you can select a token on the map at any time and read the rules that apply to the token. So essentially you can just take a look at the book and read through it and see how you interact with doors, interact with crates, and interact with all kinds of different things. So an ancient rusty gate leads out of the courtyard. A rebel may interact with the door to open it. Okay, so we've got different options to either cancel or interact. So when we see some of the different icons, like this interact one, that's going to be one of your actions essentially. So if this corporal kind of moves down and across and in front of the door, that was one of his actions, and then his other action would be interacting with it. So we're going to select the interact one option, and we're going to have the corporal essentially open it. Yay, he opens it. So this is where our cards are going to disappear, and we're going to see how this table is kind of set up. Ooh, okay, so we're going to need you guys over here, I think. And we're going to need this place right here. Direct. So let's zoom that over here. So this is what we're doing now, putting this thing together. So essentially we've got that going on. And then I need some of the water. Looks like this piece goes here. Alright, that's fair enough. Oh, we gotta put some crates down too. We need the trees over here. Oh my goodness, we're really running out of space here. We might have to move this around and just focus on our certain people at a time. Right here. This piece goes here. That's looking good. And then a green space will go over here. Like that. It's a little difficult to see, even just like in person, but there's like black areas like this you can't cross over. These blue areas obviously kind of slow you down. There's some red spots that you can't go into or see through. I guess we don't need this yet. So that's fair enough. Maybe I need to fill in the different spaces. Keep that up there. Put a piece there to block that off, put a piece there to block that off, and we are done. And alright, fair enough. So everybody's there. Looks like we're good. I think. Yeah, I think that's all set. Okay, that's all the pieces, and then we just need the boxes. They've got different colors on them, but these ones just appear to be gray, and they're just in front here, so there we go. Perfect. Yeah, so let's see what's next. So we placed the 2 crates, as indicated. Alright, so the corporal says, corporal steps through the gate and motions for everyone else to follow. So he goes through here. Sounds good to me. So because the corporal has 1 movement point remaining, so because here we want 1, 2, 3. I thought he only had 3 movement points. Maybe he's elite or something. I don't know. Oh no, he's speed 4. Yeah. So that's good. So it was here. So 1, 2, 3. He had 1 more point. He moved over there. That sounds good to me. He opened up the door with his other action. Sounds good. Now he instructs. So he has 2 actions: a move and an interact, and spent all of his movement points. So his activation is now complete. So when a hero or ally finishes the activation, you select on the portrait on the app, and then and just indicate that the activation's been complete. Then the next person goes. So in the games with fewer than 4. Okay, so we talked about that, how things kind of double up. So we click on Buddy down here, and you are done. So then he kind of grays out. So we're going to grab our gear from the crate. We're going to follow the corporal, have each hero perform an activation 1 at a time, and then select a crate and learn the rules for interacting with them. Okay, so it's essentially we're just going to click on the object to interact with it like we did with the door. So, first off, we're going to look at, I think, Jin. So, oops, I shouldn't have clicked on that, but essentially we're going to go with Jin. If we take a look at hers, she has 5 movement speed, so we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, interact with the crate. I'm going to click on this, interact with, click continue, interact with it, and what do we get? So the player, she searches it, and then she gets a vintage blaster. So I've got this little vintage blaster card, and it gives me some different rules in regards to it. It tells us what some of the different icons on the dice represent. So when you're talking about the dice, they have numbers, which usually indicates the range or the distance that the shot has gone. You have the damage, and you also have little surge icons, which is like the little lightning bolts. So those things are going to be a lot more helpful a little bit later on. And then there are also some dice that we use for defending with, and that would be the black and white dice. So the white either represents that it completely ignored it, or we've got some other different little pieces in there, and some more a black dice to represent much stronger or much better armor. So you canceling surges, canceling out damage, and then some of the dice can just cancel out everything. So Jin's starting weapons is all set up. We got her card, we got her weapon, so we're good there. And now we're gonna, so that crate's removed from the map. Cool. So remember to select the hero's portrait, which we did on accident. I meant to go a little bit too quick there. Next is going to be our good old Wookiee, and our Wookiee has a speed of 4. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll interact with that crate in front of him. Let's interact with it. We'll see what happens. So we're gonna open it up. We get a vibro axe. Where's this vibro axe? There we go. So we get a vibro axe. Again, it shows us the different stats associated with it. It shows us the dice we're gonna roll. So this one would roll for attacking with a red and a yellow dice, and we can see if we get some different surges. The little lightning bolt, he gets a pierce 1, which basically ignores 1 level of armor, and cleave 1, which basically impacts more damage, I guess. So that is good. So I guess we don't need a lot of the other cards here, so I'm going to put those aside just for now. Do a little bit of bookkeeping on the right hand side, and then let's go on to going from there. Having collected all of our gear, head to the combat range. So it sounds good. So our objectives have been updated. So what we need to do is essentially get our characters from over on the left hand side here, and we need to get them all the way down here into position to do a little bit of practicing with our the combat. So Buddy is done, so he's all set to go. So 2-player game, each hero gets 2 activations like we talked about, so we're good to go. So Jin, we're going to go with her. Her movement again is 5, so we're going to go 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. There we go. So her, she's done with that, and then we'll go, where do we want to look? So we need to get her down to there, so I need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, so she can move there, and then still have 1 movement left essentially with her 2. So she is done, and then we can click on Jin down here. Yes, she's in that space. Cool, and then good old Buddy up here. This is gone. So a little bit more housekeeping, so we're good there. He's gonna move 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He's kind of stuck there now. And then that would be, and then we gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're good there. And he's done his activation. And then Buddy is, yeah, he's gonna activate, but I need to, alright, 1, 2, 2. So he's moving his way over to there, so cool. And I just need to move 2 twice there. Yes, we can do that in a second. I need to stop it. And then dude is in this space as well. There we go. Ugh. So there we go. So end the current hero's activation. So yeah, we're good to go. We're done. Yeah. Oops. Goofed that up, but whatever. So, alright. We got another token we got to put on there. So that's that. This guy is going to move over here, and he's essentially going to interact with that crate. So, alright, let's get you some combat training. And let's see what we got here. So basically he's going to move some branches away, and small computer terminal is going to pop up. So we put the computer terminal down. Cool enough. Did that. Alright. Sounds good to me. Okay. So the terminal is going to require repairs. Fortunately, Jin is good with technology, as indicated by the 3 dice in her tech attribute. She's now going to attempt to pass a tech test, I guess. So with the tech is down here, and we've got a blue, green, and a yellow. So blue, green, yellow. Alright, so she's going to now pass it. Okay, so let's see what happens. Click on. Alright, so let's see what she gets. Any successes. So we've got, what are we looking for? So to perform the attribute test, we're going to roll the dice next to the indicated attribute, which we did, those colors. we're going to enter the number of surges that we got. So we got 1 surge. Blech. And then we'll click on confirm, see if she fixed it. So we open up the terminal, quickly find the source of the problem. After a quick bypass, you close the terminal, flip the switch, and it brings the machine back to life. Nice job, says the corporal. Cool. Good there. Alright, so we got a bunch of these little icons now. Flips a few switches, the terminal, and a number of small spherical training remotes deploy from the container hidden behind the terminal and spread out around the immediate area, hovering a few meters off the ground. Place 6 of the neutral tokens as indicated. Alright, we got our little spinny tokens. We need 6 of them. I can do that. So let's put these guys down. So we got 1 here, 1 here. So good old Wookiee could probably go in there and bash those things. Here, we got 1 here, 1 up here, which is really far away, and 1 right around the corner. Awesome. Sounds good, sounds good. So click continue. So basically when, use these remotes for target practice. Allow me to demonstrate. He's going to pull out his blaster. So Buddy, when he activates, normally an ally cannot activate twice in a round, but we're breaking this rule for demonstration purposes. So the corporal wants to perform an attack. He has a range attack, which is indicated by the gun icon in the bottom right corner of the Rebel Trooper card. So we've got the Rebel Trooper card here, and we've got his gun down there, and it's a blue and a yellow. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll that up. Alright, so to perform a ranged attack, figure must have line of sight to its target. So let's see which remotes that the corporal can see. So line of sight requires that you are able to draw 2 uninterrupted imaginary lines to a single corner of the attacking figure's space. So 2 different corners. So basically these lines are going to cut right through our Wookiee friend here, so he's not going to be able to do that. Okay, so I can't do that there either because Jin's in the way as well, so I'm going to shoot her. So Buddy over here, the lines essentially, let's see here, I'm going to flip it here. So essentially the lines cut right through the different sections of the black area, so we're not going to be able to shoot at either of those as well. But we can, from the corner of the corporal here, see 2 spots on either of these 2 remotes over on this side. Cool, so that's good enough. So we're going to move the corporal over. So moves on an angle, moves there. And we've done that. And then we're going to target something. So we're going to target this one to the left. And then we're going to need a blue and a yellow die to perform his attack. So we're going to roll those up and ta-da! Let's see what we got. So rolled those up, and then we're going to add up the numbers shown on the attack dice that we rolled to determine the attacker's accuracy. So we got 2, 4, so that's good enough. So we need at least 2, so like 1, 2 spaces away. So we're all set there. That's in range. Next, we're going to take a look at the damage, and you're going to count up the number of damage icons that are going to be showing on the 2 attack dice, and place that many damage tokens next to the remote. If the remote has damage tokens equal or exceeding the health of 3, the remote's destroyed. Remember that you can find the token rules, so we can always find them more in the book. So we resolved his attack against it, and we have 4, so this guy is destroyed. And there we go. So the remote explodes in a cloud of sparks. Its shattered remains falling to the ground. Discard the mission token, which we did. Cool. So you may have rolled one more surge icon on the attack dice. Ignores. Oh. Just one sec, folks. Let me see what's up here. Oops. Sorry, we had a little delivery there. Okay, so, yeah. So, when we're talking about the Vibro Axe, it doesn't have a range attack icon. Instead, it has a little sword icon, and basically that indicates that he's a melee character, so he goes there and can basically chop things up, right? So we just kind of ignore the accuracy and go off the other pieces. Alright, so Corporal says, now that you've seen it, how it's done, show me what you've got. So the Corporal says is stepping back to the next to the terminal. So we're going to move him back down here. Sounds good. So next, we're going to take Jin and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think she moves 5, right? So take a look at her card. Yep, she moves 5. So I'm going to move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why we're moving her up there is we're going to take some shots at some of these things, and we're pretty close too. So she has that fancy blaster. So there we go. So her blaster does 2 green. Sounds good to me. If we surge, we get +1 accuracy and +1. And we also have like a +1 damage. We can put 1, 2 as well if we get 2 of them. So roll her up. So we've got 3. So let's say, for example, we were shooting at this one over here, or even that one there. We'll say we're shooting for the farther one just because we've got enough of that. So we're in range. We did 2 damage, and we can spend the surge to do an additional damage. So that means this guy is dead. So then we'll click on this. Click on destroyed. Oh, whoops. Yes, destroyed. And then that thing is gone. Explodes and sparks. So that. Yes, we did that. Yes, we did that. Continue. Okay, so that is done. Next is going to be our good old Wookiee. He's going to move his 1, 2, 3. Could move 4, but we're not going to worry about it. He's going to, let's say, you strike at that. So his weapon, take a look at his Vibro Axe. So it looks like it's a red and a yellow. So we got those. Roll them up. And we've got range 1, doesn't really matter. We've got 1 hit and a sort of damage. And if we use a surge, we can use it on a cleave, which will do 3. So we'll say we'll get rid of that one there. Bang. Good. So that's done. So that one's destroyed as well. So click on it, destroy it, continue, and well done taking out those remotes. The Corporal says, I think you need a harder challenge. Let's see how you do with level 2 remotes. He flips a switch on the panel, and the remotes begin moving, rotating unpredictably. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. So the remotes have a defense die now. There's 2 colors of defense die, black and white, and so we're going to roll these for the remotes. When we're attacking a target, it has 1 or more defense dice. We're going to roll these defense dice at the same time that you roll your attack dice. Fair enough. So each of the little triangle symbols are going to be blocks, so they cancel out damage. If we get this, they cancel out one of the surges, and then if it's the white die and it gets this, it entirely ignores the attack. So that can be that's always fun to see. Oof. Alright. So So, Pierce and Surge abilities can be used to ignore blocks as well. For example, using Pierce 2 ability allows you to ignore 2 of the armor icons or whatever. Anyways, alright, take out these new remotes, and then the corporal is interrupted by a chirping calmly. He listens to the device for a moment and continues. That was the command center. I need to get back to base. Take out those remotes. I should be back by the time you're done. So we'll take off Buddy. He's no longer part of the adventure at this time. And let's get back to wrecking these things. So this thing was destroyed. That's fine. So we'll have Jin take a few pot shots at one of it, and it's 2 greens, and we'll shoot at this one here, we'll say. Ta-da! Oh! So, range 3. Fair enough. 2 damage and a surge. Sounds good. And then our remote. Oh, shoot, what is our. There we go. We're shooting at this one. Okay, cool. So, it has a defense 1. So we roll 1 dice. I was supposed to roll it at the same time as that. Of course, following rules is not something I do well. And then we're going to use one of the surges to do an additional damage, so this thing is destroyed. Aha! Killed another one. Cool. It explodes in some sparks. Then what we'll do is, let's see so far. Yeah, I think we'll take a shot with good old Gargan. So she is going to stop her turn. Actually, she could have fired off another shot, right? So yeah, we'll just do that real quick. There we go. So surge. First surge turns into a damage. It's blocked by that thing, and the other surge is blocked, so it's kind of moot there. So that doesn't matter. So it wouldn't have mattered either way. Interesting. So, good old Wookiee time. So Wookiee's got a yellow and red, and then we'll roll with the white together. Oh, that's pretty nasty. So he stops that, blocks one of those, so he only gets 1 damage on this guy. So we'll put the damage token beside him. Fair enough. He's going to do another attack. Oh man, this is coming up a lot. So it stops 2 of those, does 3 damage. That thing is dead. Finally! Good job, buddy. Zoom in a bit here. Alright, so that is destroyed. Goodbye. Sparks and everything. Sounds good. Next, we'll take a shot with Jin. End his action there, and it should be Jin's again, and she's got the 2 greens and a white, and he completely blocks that, and that was a really good one too. 3 damage, 5 range, and a surge, but all blocked because of that silly little thing. Well, damn. Alright, let's second attack. Alright, so we blocked 1 surge. We did 1 damage and a surge. We'll put that surge into another damage, so we caused 2 damage to this bugger. Wow, that was crazy. Alright, so next what we're gonna do is, I guess, go with our good old. So her turn's done. Buddy's turn, so he's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're in range, so we're gonna cleave that. Come on, Wookiee. Okay, so blocked 1 of these. Caused 2 damage, and it explodes in sparks and is destroyed. Perfect. This is getting exciting. Destroyed. Good. There we go. Alright, so the remotes are destroyed there. Alright, so alert. Actually, we're going to stop for 1 second. Stepping away, and we'll continue in a moment. All right. So, had to get a drink of water. All right. I like the background noise of the crickets and the birds occasionally. All right. So, the last remote's just been destroyed, and then we hear over the comlink channels, alert, alert! Imperial forces have landed. Begin the evacuation procedures immediately. You decide you had better get back to base. And that's that. So I think that was pretty interesting. It's a nice little kind of beginning to the game. Overall, I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this. I really wish they would have had an opportunity to put out a lot more for the campaign or for the different campaigns. Like, let me see if I can fix this here in a second. There we go. I'm going to capture the cursor here. So, there we go. We have, as part of a campaign, you have your armory and credits where you can actually buy various different items. You have, you'll have different planets that you can go to and visit throughout the campaign, solving different mysteries and missions and stuff, which is really interesting. And yeah, so down here we've got some settings where you can save. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll save this for now and quit out. And then next time we get an opportunity, we'll jump in and continue on. So for those of you that are kind of watching and diving in and taking a look at this as we kind of go through, as I'm kind of testing out doing this type of a stream, hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, with that said, I will talk to you guys later. Bye now, and thanks again.